applied and submitted my application first week of January, and this week I finally got the approval that Iowa State's received it and it's gone through. That's almost 4 months, which is a major issue because in the past, it typically came through within that week, if not the day of. On top of that, we also had major changes to the FAFSA application this year that are negatively impacting farming families as well as those coming from small business owning families. For those of you who don't know, these changes mean that we all have to include our assets that are not liquid. So we are having to include things like machinery, land, anything like that sort, which are not things that we can sell to be able to put towards our college income. Rather, those are things that we need to be able to keep our businesses and farms going forward. Without that in mind, all of these machineries and land is very expensive, which makes it look as though farming families and small business owning families have a lot of income that they truly don't have. So at the federal level, I've been working closely with Senator Joni Ernst to advocate for these changes to be reversed, as well as to get the issues with the FAFSA form figured out. My first time advocating was in Washington, D.C. directly with her and her staff, in which afterwards she wrote a letter to the Biden administration urging them, using the words that I shared with her, to truly get this issue figured out. Since then, she had invited me to participate in a roundtable event at Graceland University where I was one of 2 students present alongside many financial individuals from different universities and community colleges across Iowa. There I was able to share my story as well as the story of other students who have been encountering these issues this year. And then actually very recently, her staff reached back out to me asking for me to record a video about my experience so that they can continue to use it at the federal level and send it to the Biden administration to truly show them the negative impact that this all has been having on our students. I know that was a lot of information to kind of throw out at you all, but truly college affordability is something I'm passionate about, whether it's for myself or not. Even if I wasn't being impacted by the FAFSA issues, I truly would be continuing to advocate for all students to be able to continue to find ways to afford their time here at Iowa State through the FAFSA application. Thank you.
Thank you. I yield.
Senator Everhart.
My question is also for Senator Holliday. Something that I touched on during the debate phase was the opportunity that you have over the summer to intern with the Ministry of Education in Kosovo. Can you talk about a little bit how that role will, I guess, help you over the next year within this position?
Yeah, that's actually something really great to point out that I never thought about. So for those of you who don't know, Kosovo is the second youngest nation in the world. It originated in 2008, and it's just above Greece over in the European nation. While over there, I will be working with the Ministry of Education, specifically within the Department of Higher Education, so for those that are in Kosovo, attending college and universities. While I'm over there, I will have the opportunity to work with many different people inside the department, including those in the federal area or financial area, so I can learn more about how the finances work on the federal level over in Kosovo. So by having more experience and immersing myself further into the financial aspect of the world, especially internationally, I think that's going to help me be able to better represent international students as well in the aspect that I have not had experience in before. So by being able to have that international experience, I'll continue to apply it here in the United States and especially at Iowa State. Thank you.
So if not, the floor is open for any further questions for tonight's nominees. It wouldn't require a call to question, but you could move to end of the debate phase. Is there a second? Moved and seconded to end of the debate phase. Are there any objections to doing so? Seeing no objections, we'll move into final comments, closing comments. Once again, in the order in which you were nominated, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll tap my gavel when you have 30 seconds remaining.
Okay, sure. I don't have the experience that the other candidate has, but what I do have is a different perspective of students. I talk to students every day. I get to know about more experiences that are happening on campus, and I will try to use all those experiences, combine them into one, and try to ask questions on the committee as great as possible, because this committee is the most impactful committee that is here in student government. Like, this seat is the most impactful seat, and I truly believe that I'm a decent communicator. I can really communicate my thoughts and really advocate for students when most needed, because most students don't even know about this. $49 goes to this committee, and they don't know how their money is advocated. And I'll try my best to work with PR and outreach at student government and try to tell more students more about this committee, and will truly be more of a open face on this committee. Thank you.
Hi all again. So I just want to first off say thank you for the opportunity to run up here. I hope that my experience that I've had the opportunity to share with you all tonight shows how worthy I am of this role. I truly am passionate about serving all students, whether they are on campus as my constituency council, or off campus as my constituency council, or on campus, or anyone that comes from a different diverse background than me. I truly want to connect with students, and that's something that I have been living over the past 3 years here at Iowa State and will continue to do in my coming year here. So I want to also thank Azre and Senator Pedisani for the great competition. And I think it's really impressive that we have so many students truly passionate about student affordability here at Iowa State with the ever-increasing fees in tuition and anything else in this world, as we all know. So I truly hope that you all vote how your heart lies, but please know that if you do elect me, I will truly be passionate in this position and do my best to represent all students to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much to all of our candidates this evening. I will note that Senator Pedisani does not need to be here to be considered, but I would entertain a motion to remove him from the roll as he cannot vote. Moved to remove Senator Pedisani from the roll. Are there any objections to doing so? Seeing none, one moment. All right, and so if that's similar to how we did the Speaker, Vice Speaker elections, at this time we'll move into the first ballot. It does require a majority of present senators for someone to be elected. If no one reaches that threshold, we'll remove whoever received the fewest votes and vote again. So when I call your name, please vote Gopa, Holiday, or Pedisani. Everhart. Holiday. Rolls. Holiday. Atikos. Holiday. Utica. Palin. Holiday. Weaver. Holiday. Samantha Jones. Pelzer. Moran. Oh, excuse me. Nievenhoven. Pursley. Verger. Hunter Schneider. Camier. Eisma. Gopa.
Moving down.
Mamani. Patel. Rollinger. Tesla. Going back to Eisma. Gopa.
Holiday.
And Mamani. One moment while we tally that up. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Agarwal. Raj. Spahn. Sidney Jones. Holiday.
Abstain.
Sloop. And Jake Schneider. I believe with that, I have hit the new senators. One moment while we tally that up. Jeez. All right, so with a vote of 4 to 18 to 2 to 1, Senator Holiday has won this election. So if that, we'll get her name placed on the final bill, and then we'll pass the motion as a whole. So with that, is there any discussion on the bill as a whole? Seeing none, is there a call to question? Is there a second? Move to end debate. Are there any objections to doing so? Seeing none, seeing as this is a speaker, not a speaker, a floor election, there are no closing comments. And so I'll move, did I hear UC? UC has been called for. Are there any objections to passing this motion as a whole by way of unanimous consent? Seeing no objection, the motion carries. So with that, we'll move into our two new business items for this evening, starting with item 2024-1-00Y, changing the title of Director of Student Initiatives with Speaker Momini.
I am trying to get it pulled up on the screen, but this is a proposed bylaw change that would change only the name. Well, not only the name. Firstly, it would change the name of the student initiatives director to student events, and then further the committee to events committee. And then it would also remove or strike two parts of the bylaws that just historically have not been done. So there's really no need for them to be mandated in our bylaws. We haven't been doing them. They're just projects that don't exist anymore. So with that, I will take any yes or no questions.
Floor is open for questions of intent, starting with Senator Everhart.
Will this bylaw change be reviewed in rules before it's on second read next week?
Yes.
Perfect.
So if that, are there any further questions of intent? Seeing none, this bill will return next week after Rules has reviewed it. And we'll move now into item 2024-1-01Y, allowing co-directors of committees with Speaker Momini.
So this is another bylaw bill that will allow for there to be co-directors of committees. Currently, there isn't anything in our bylaws that allows that, and the executive slate feels like it would benefit their cabinet/committees. So if you have any yes or no questions, I will take them now.
Floor is open for questions of intent. All right, seeing none, once again, this bill will return next week. So with that, we've completed our business for this evening. And the floor is open for general closing announcements. Yes.
Okay, I got left off the agenda today. So just a couple of things. If you were confirmed to a position tonight, you should have already gotten an email from me with some information about some steps you need to take so that you get access to Teams and systems and doors and all kinds of good things. If you have questions about that, let me know. The second thing is I brought snacks, and I'm excited that we're not going till 11 o'clock, but we had a bunch of baked goods left from yesterday's Student Work Officer Appreciation event, so they are on a cart over there behind Senator Patel. Please take a plate and take as many as you want. Take them away from here. And then also in that little tub by where your placards are, we had pins made for our officer celebration. There are two, one that says Student Work Officer, and then one says, or no, club leader, organizational leader, something like that. One just says that, and one has 2324. I would encourage you to please take a pin if you would like them to commemorate your work as a Stu Org leader this year. And then I will not be here next week. Brad will be here, so just wanted to say thanks for a great year, but I am still around for the next few weeks, so come see me if you need me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I would like to note for new senators, this is the first time we've gotten to closing announcements. Obviously, we went a little over time last week. I'd love to set a precedent of waiting to pack up until we've heard all the closing announcements, just because oftentimes these people are sharing information that's important for the good of the body. Senator Gopa.
Yeah, great conversations today. I feel like we could have had better conversations for some of the bills, like instead of calling UC directly, because we are in charge of a lot of money and a lot of power at this university. We should have discussions about certain bills. But other than that, we had great discussions about important positions today. Also, the LAS Start Something Academy is looking for new cohort members next year. I think it's a pretty cool academy if you want to start your own business, if anyone is interested in starting a business. Also, for the new directors, you don't need to specifically choose on senators to be in your committees. Please also look into possibilities of getting at-larges into your committees, because at-larges do, in my opinion, at-larges do a lot more work than most senators, because senators work on both Senate and their committee, but at-larges work on the committee itself. And what else I forgot what I had to say. Oh yeah, and we never actually acknowledged the seniors that are graduating this year who were on Senate last term. So I want to acknowledge that Senator ex-Senator Larson and ex-Senator Gian James did a lot of great work from last semester, and I think we should really appreciate them for all the work they have done. And for all of those who are new here, Senator Larson worked on a bill that that helped recreate, I forgot what it was. It was just a really beautiful flagpole. Yeah, she made the area around the flagpole really nice. And Senator Gian James was a very active member in Finance Committee, and she was one of the best communicators I knew in student government. And they will be missed. They're not dead.
Senator Holliday.
Hey, also, first off, thank you for a great first Senate back. I am super excited to be back and work with you all this year, and thank you for electing me to serve on the Special Student Fee Committee. I just have something that I wanted to share that I was emailed earlier this week. So for those of you who weren't here last semester, this will be something new to you all, but those of you who were here, we had a program on this. It's regarding the Immediate Access 1 program, which will be starting this next year for all students. This is going to be on the topic of our textbooks. So this is going to be something new to the university, and they will be sending out an email on this soon. But this individual would like some feedback on FAQs for the website, because there are going to be a lot of them, because it's going to be a little bit of a confusing program at first. So for those of you who don't know, this program is going to be that all undergrad students will automatically be charged $259 to your U-bill for your textbooks for that semester. So that means that you won't have to individually buy any textbooks. However, you can opt out of this within the first 10 days of that semester and get a full refund and individually purchase any books that you would like to purchase. Because it may be cheaper, you may prefer your books in a different format than what's provided based off of this book program. But this is something that I just wanted to share, and I can send this information in the Teams as well. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. This is something super important that I know they want our feedback on, and since it officially will be happening, it's really important that we especially provide any questions that we think would be good to have on the FAQ page. Thank you.
President Hirsch.
Hey everyone, congratulations to our newly sat senators. Very exciting stuff. Make sure to reach out to those new cabinet members and figure out what committees you especially want to be on. I'm going to send out an email in a few minutes here, just giving the recap of what new director Emily Bolin put together, giving the ex officio recap from City Council. I think it's absolutely imperative that we as student government know what's going on at a city level. So that's going to be an expectation going forward. That's not something that we've done in the past, but it's something that we're going to do in the future. So be ready for that. And then also just to touch on a little bit at the beginning of the meeting there, I said we're going to start having some snacks and some refreshments at Senate. That's something I'm absolutely working on. I had a meeting with EMO today and ISU Catering. And so that's not something we'll have next meeting, but plan for that in August. Let's have these meetings be a little bit more fun and have a little bit more snacks, huh?
Senator Ticos.
Hello everyone. So got a friendly announcement to make. So there's this like huge event like coming up from like Sustainability Committee, which is a One Sustainable Iowa conference. It's on the 26th, which is simply next Friday. And the last day to register for it is the 18th, which is basically tomorrow. And we've got a keynote speaker. His name is Ben Jealous. And this is pretty much about it. With that, I yield.
Senator Everhart.
I'm just going to build off of what Senator Atico said. Ben Jealous for the One Sustainable Iowa Conference. He is the president of the Sierra Club, and he's done quite a bit of sustainability work. So if you have the opportunity to go to the One Sustainable Iowa Conference, definitely take it. It'll be really great hearing from that keynote speaker. So I yield.
Right, and so with that, are there any further general closing announcements? All right, seeing none, for those of you new, then it'll go Vice President, Vice Speaker, and Speaker for our final closing announcements. I told you all last week these wouldn't all be as long as they were. It is only 8:40. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I have no further closing announcements, and I yield to the Vice Speaker.
Okay, so for those new senators that do not know, you have to complete an office hour each week in the student government office. If you do not know where the student government office is, please come and talk to me after our meeting. I can take some people down there and show you where it is. So make sure to do your office hour for this week, and that's it. Thank you.
Guys, I totally thought we were going to be here until 11 or 10. I thought this was going to be so long. So I'm glad also that it's 8:40, 8:44 to be specific. So with that, I know everybody's probably ready to go home, especially after last week's meeting, but I do have a couple of closing announcements. First, thank you all. I didn't get to say it last meeting. I am glad to be your speaker. I'm excited for this new year. We're going to do some great things. And then it was mentioned in the executive updates at the beginning, when I sent out the legislative packet, there will be a dress code recommendation, stressing the recommendation. There will be a visual to help you all. We just want to try and get a little bit more air of professionalism. It's just a test run. With that, if you find yourself struggling to find clothes that fit those descriptions, there is a pop-up shop right here in the MU. That is open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in 2250 of the MU. I don't have the exact times on me. I know that today they were open from 5 to 8. Every day? No, every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday is 5 to 8. So if you don't have time Monday before our Senate meeting, definitely pop in there. Even if you're not going to use it for Senate, I think that it's great. Everybody should be able to have access to those things. I think it's wonderful that we have them in the first place. Please stop by the pop-up shop if you need any of those type of things. And then yes, it's free. It's free. That's the best part. Free things are the best. And then we also are gonna try and have consistent snacks in here, so you'll see that in my update as well. And then also bringing back a more consistent song of the week. In my legislative packet that I sent out this week, there was a link for you guys to fill out a form for your guys' favorite song. If you'd like, you can put your name and like a reason why you like the song, and I'd love to include it so that way we can get to know each other more. There have been some responses. I've loved getting to know some of your guys' favorite songs and why, so that's been great. I can't wait to share them with the rest of StuGov, so please do that. And then tentatively seeking approval from the MU, I would like to have a working meeting next week so that way we can start the Pathways program. I want to get you guys connected with other senators and committees, and I would like to be able to do that over the summer so that way when we come back in the fall, we can all have our projects in mind and know exactly where we're going and make it less scary, make it to where people don't leave feeling like they didn't really do much in their position. So with that, I'm sorry, that was a mouthful and I talk fast, so. Anyways, move to adjourn, go Cyclones.
We are adjourned. See you next week.